We start with basic shapes again, and this time I'm going to type in REC for rectangle, and I'm going to select the rounded rectangle, double click on that. And so for this one, let's send it to the top here. When you have something selected, you want it to go to the top layer, click on the smaller of the two green plus icons, and it sends it to the top layer so you can work with it. Well, you can just drag it over the existing one, double click and click again to get these angle arrows here. And I'll go back to the green mat here so you can see. I don't need it quite that big. What I did was I started with a 9.75 on the bigger of the two rectangles, 9.75, tab over, and 7.5 inches for the height, and enter. So this is what I started with. And then again I can do Shift and Control, hold that down and click. And then I'm going to click on the fourth icon from the left to rotate that 90 degrees. I'm going to resize this one at 4 1/4 wide by 2 3/4 high, 2.75, enter, and bring that, it's not 2 3/4, it's 8 1/2. And then I'm going to bring it up here. So I have this aligned with the 2 3/4 mark here because this is 2 3/4, this is 4.25, and then this side will be the same right now. And in order to get these pink edges, what I did was take one of these hearts and click on the shadow icon, which is fourth from the right on the bottom, and I made it, I think, a 0.6, pretty big. We'll cancel it, so I'll show you really how I did it. I left these here. Now if they're not perfectly aligned, you can select, you can put the first and last ones where you want them to be, select all of them, and I'll type R to line them up on the right so that they're all lined up on the right, the same place. But if I want to space them perfectly, I can right click, go to Align and Space, and I want to space them vertically, all even. If they were skewed a little bit, that would line them up, the center one, perfectly with the others. With those three selected, I could join them and then hold a Shift and select this part of the card and type H to horizontally line them perfectly with the side. So now I have them kind of centered, and I'm going to hide that original one, so this is what yours would look like. Now I'm going to select those hearts. I'm going to do the shadow with all three selected. My goal is to get the shadow big enough so that it touches, all three of them touch. And I think it turned out to be about 0.6 something. So I'll put in the 6. Then we can see. They're not quite touching yet. And also, I want the bottom and the top to line up with this. So maybe I'll back off a little just so that they're not really taller than the edges of the envelope. So that looks good. I'm not necessarily going to keep them where they are. I can move them in this way if I like. And then this one here, notice that this little edge is showing here, and I didn't really want to fill that up. I wanted to keep that heart shape there. So what I did was just slide it over to line up with where the curves from the heart met. So with that done, I'm going to hide the hearts, and I have one more rectangle to make, and that's the score line in the middle. So I'm going to add one more square. This time it'll be a square because I don't need the corners rounded. I'll double click, and this one is that 4.5 inches wide, 4 1/4, 4.25, and tab over to the height of this, which was 7.5, I believe, and enter. And now this is going to be my score line. So I'm sending it to the top by clicking the smaller of the two green plus icons, and I'm going to change its line style to scored and hide it. So now I'm just going to select all the pieces from my envelope and weld them together. Now I can show my hearts, get rid of the empty layers, and right click on the heart layer and move to the top. You could cut those hearts out if you like. I found out that I really like them better just cut out of a contrasting color. I'll change the colors again to the light pink, change the color of this one to light pink, and go to contrast to see how it turned out. It makes a pretty nice envelope.